Welcome to the Danny Clinkscale Reasonably Irreverent podcast. Insightful and witty commentary, probing interviews, and detours from the beaten path.
Welcome to Monday Musings, Danny and Friends SportsWrap. It's always presented by Advanced Sports and Family Chiropractic and Acupuncture. 7 locations all around the Kansas City area. I'm there every Friday getting tuned up and feeling good. You can do the same. Go see Dr. Whittle and his fine staff at a location near you. Since there's 7, there's one near you, that's for sure. ASFCA. Well, it's a Monday full of many smiles, really, mostly good news and happy news. And, there's always, hey, it's sports. Somebody has to win and somebody has to lose. I mean, the Chicago White Sox, they lose all the time. And they lost 3 times over the weekend to the Royals as they sweep the hapless Chi Sox. And so they're smiling, and now they start a tougher series against the Arizona Diamondbacks. We'll check in with some of the principles from yesterday's easy win. The whole weekend was easy. They outscored the White Sox 17-3 on the weekend, and we'll hear from Bobby Witt and manager Q and Seth Lugo, who are all standouts as well. Sporting Kansas City had themselves a good game, but they need to win just about every game in MLS play, and now some of the cup games are going to be important for them because they're still well out of the playoff chase as far as MLS is concerned. Bidding for first place are the Kansas City Current. They book another one, 3-1 at home against Houston. They lead the league in scoring. They're second only to Orlando in the league, trying to chase them down. Orlando's had a couple of draws of late, so the Current are right in there, but they're entertaining their fans with great soccer, sellout crowds, good fun, to say the least. Well, we could have had really good fun at the Open Championship. It looked like it was going to be a down-to-the-wire, perhaps playoff type of duel. Really remarkable golf tournament, but then Xander Schauffle decided to step on the gas, and that he did. He played a brilliant back nine. He played a brilliant day, a bogey-free 65. A lot of the other players didn't really do anything wrong. Could have had 6-7 in the mix, but Schauffle took it away and ran and hid with his second major of the year, and now he's right there in a discussion with Scotty Scheffler, who finished 7th and had a bad week putting, and we'll dive into that as well. And, of course, we got the Olympics this week. The Chiefs are at minicamp. No bad news out of there yet. Just a lot of highlight reels and Patrick Mahomes having some fun with his guy Xavier Worthy. So a little nip of the Chiefs also. But let's start it off this time around by heading out to the K for yesterday's report from intrepid reporter, Danny Clinkscale, me, as I'll break down the game in the series with the Chicago White Sox. That'll start it off on our Monday Musings, presented by ASFCA, and there's a whole lot of other stuff to dive into, too. Let's get at it right after this.
More of Danny's Reasonably Irreverent podcast after this.
Always great to catch up with Dr. Brad Whittle of Advanced Sports and Family Chiropractic and Acupuncture. Everybody wants to make every year a great one, mentally and physically, and certainly ASFCA can help in that regard.
Chiropractic, acupuncture, physiotherapies. We're going to address the body and the mind to keep you in great shape. With winter moving into spring, we don't want to have the opportunity to get hurt or to be slow and not do what we used to do, right?
Absolutely right, and you can do that in a variety of ways.
We can. We love looking at the body and how it moves, looking at the posture and how it holds us to be strong, to be safe, and really to help us do those things we love to do.
The wide variety and range of services you can get helps in that regard at Advanced Sports and Family Chiropractic and Acupuncture. 7 locations all around the Kansas City area. Find the one that's most convenient for you. And for more information, visit asfca.com/Danny. That's asfca.com/Danny. Cinematic Visions has been an affordable solution for professional media production in Kansas City since 2003, offering award-winning video production and creation, as well as a wide array of digital and social media management services. From planning, scripting, filming, editing, and post-production, to delivering your product to a watching world, Cinematic Visions will provide professional and affordable services for you and your business with the necessary return on investment to make it all worthwhile. Cinematic Visions' goal is to unlock the power of storytelling through video and a strong online presence for your company. Beyond the numbers, they want to inspire and evoke your clients to feel and act. Let my friends at Cinematic Visions embed your brand where it belongs, in your customers' minds. You can find them online at cinematicvisions.com or with a quick phone call at 816-600 6,300.
If you'd like to join these and other fine sponsors and market your business on Kansas City's #1 rated podcast, contact us at Danny@DannyClinkscale.com. Look forward to working with you.
Welcome back. Well, out here at the Cave, certainly the place to be over this weekend as the Royals complete a sweep that you kind of felt was mandatory as they win 4-1 on Sunday after winning 6-1 on Friday and 7-1. Or Friday and Saturday, or the reverse, whichever one it was, 7-1, 6-1. It's almost like a tennis score, and a lopsided one at that, as the Royals on Sunday, for a while, couldn't get anything done with the starter Drew Thorpe, but eventually, after giving up a run, which was kind of a squirrely little run for Seth Lugo, who we'll hear from in a minute, he didn't give up much, and when he gave up a run, it was on a two-strike hit batter, and then a soft base hit by Tommy Pham, then got out of a jam. Good defensive play by Maikel Garcia in that particular inning, and the Royals looked like they were going to immediately jump back and get right back on it, but they left the first and third opportunity go by, but they didn't let it go by in the seventh, scored on a squeeze play, and then it seemed inevitable after that. The White Sox are terrible. They can't score, and Seth Lugo was cruising. He would end up completing the game, the first ever of his career. We'll hear about that in just a second, and in the end, it was what the Royals needed to do. It was laid out in front of them. The White Sox are a very poor team. They can't score runs. Their lineup doesn't look very good. And they went out and proved it this weekend. And the Royals proved that you do what you do. You dominate teams that are sitting there waiting to be dominated. And they got that done indeed. And it was just another great day for Bobby Witt Jr. It was another great day for Seth Lugo. And it was another great day for the manager, Matt Quatraro.
Yeah, I mean, what do you say about that? The efficiency, the strike throwing, all that was phenomenal. And I'm just really happy that he got not only the complete game, but the win, because the only, the run that he gives up is a two-strike hit batter. I mean, they got the two hits after that, but he definitely deserved to win that game.
What goes into the decision to send him? Because I know you had some guys out.
Yeah, I mean, traffic, really. He didn't have anybody on base. He didn't have trouble except for that one inning. Probably if somebody had been on when Pham coming up, would have gone to Schreiber there in the 8th. But he still had such a low pitch count. He hadn't been working that hard, in my opinion. I'm sure he was working hard, but he wasn't laboring. And I just felt like that was the best opportunity. And the way he had pitched those guys, he had other stuff he could do. We talk about that all the time, that he has different ways to get people out.
How big was it Maikel's stop on Luis Robert run out to kind of end that 6th inning there?
Yeah, great play by Vinny as well.
Seth didn't have to have a conversation with you or anything? It was just...
No, I struggled with it a little bit just because it's uncharted territory for us, for him, but the way he controlled that game, I thought it was the right decision.
We've talked so much about his 9 to 12, whatever it is. Obviously that helps him get through hitters multiple times, but how would you game against that?
Yeah, I wasn't a very good hitter, so I don't have a good idea for that. But I think what you got to do is, in my opinion, you got to be aggressive, because you're going to throw a lot of strikes and you're going to have to pick a side of the plate. And you can't, guys with good command and a lot of pitches, you can't chase them around the zone, because then you're guessing. You might guess right every now and then, but if you chase guys around, and it's not a great formula. You're gonna have to stick to a plan.
What was the challenge against Drew Thorpe early in the game, and then how did you guys kind of make some adjustments to have that good 8th?
Well, that wasn't him in the 8th. We didn't get to him at all. He was excellent. The guys were saying they have not seen a changeup like that in the past. He located extremely well. He used his fastball when he needed to, but the cutter and changeup, we didn't seem to have an answer for it. What we did in the 8th, we took what was given to us. We hit the ball the other way. Guys didn't get too big. There were 2 out hits. I mean, we have to mention the base running in that game. The first to thirds, the aggressiveness, the willingness to put yourself out there, especially Maikel's first one when we got the first run in the 7th there, because the ability to get to third there set up the run.
Can you talk about the sack bunt by Isbell?
He did a great job. He's really good at that, taking it to first. You know, it's a tough call there because I think he probably had a good chance, so to speak, to get the run in anyway. But when we were struggling to score, you got to figure out a way with another couple innings to go to at least put a little pressure on him. He did a great job of getting that down.
Another 3 for 4 day from Bobby. I mean, you're just kind of running out of things to say about him at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to drive the ball more. I'll rag on him for that today. You know, it's all singles, right? I mean, we don't want to. No, it's crazy. I mean, his skill level, his willingness to take what's given, to be able to know what the opposing pitchers are trying to do to him. I mean, he's really growing right in front of our eyes as far as his understanding of the game. The talent's always been there.
In today's game, I mean, obviously complete games are more of a rarity, but just given how frequently he throws strikes, the fact, like Andy mentioned, that he can throw multiple pitches to guys third time through the order, do you feel like this maybe was a matter of just time coming with him that he was going to get one of these?
Sure. I had not given that any thought. He pitches so deep into games routinely anyway that it's likely to happen if me or somebody else, you know, doesn't take him out, because he's always feels good. So it doesn't surprise me that he did it. I certainly wasn't thinking like, all right, we got to get him that, but he definitely earned the opportunity to go back out there.
Obviously had a great opportunity starting the second half for the team that has struggled this year, but to take complete advantage of it, how important is that with this week?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to speak to their struggles. That's not, you know, these games, you look up at the end of the game, it's 4-1 or 6-1. These games swing any way. You know, yesterday was tight. We got out to the lead in the first game, but thinking back to playing these guys earlier in the year, we took the lead in the 6th or 7th inning a couple times. Like, there's no easy games in the big leagues, and to come out and win against who you're playing, that's all you can do.
Obviously, he's not going to take the bait about a team like the White Sox being kind of sitting there waiting to be beaten, but certainly they were, and the Royals went out and did it. And the biggest part of how they did it was Seth Lugo. He set the tone for the game. The Royals were seemingly eventually going to score some runs against Drew Thorpe. They didn't do that, but they did so once the bullpen came in, and that's usually the case with a less than good team as well. If you're able to hang around, the other team doesn't score. The White Sox had an opportunity in the 6th to get more than one run. They certainly needed that, and Lugo ended up mowing down the back part of the lineup as he finished the 7th, 8th, and 9th, retiring the last 9 batters in those innings and make it 10 with the play that concluded the 6th. He had about 90 pitches heading into that inning, and he really didn't have to do much lobbying, as you heard manager Q talk about, and Lugo was ready to take it the distance, and he was proud and ready to have this happen for the first time since he was pitching back in college.
Well, for me, my mindset over my career, you know, I've always said I want to play every inning in the game, so finally got to do that today, and that's kind of what I've been saying for years, and actually did it. So, yeah.
So it's been on your mind for a while. How long have you thought about trying to throw a full game?
I mean, ever since I was in college, you know, you get the ball, you want to throw the whole game. It means you're doing some stuff right. It means you're, getting ahead of hitters or attacking hitters, not throwing many balls, and getting either weak contact or letting them hit it at somebody, keeping the score off the scoreboard. So, it's just a product of execution.
Through 8 there, did you feel like you might have to convince Q to let you in, or did you have a pretty good idea he was going to let you go back out for the 9th?
I wasn't sure, but yeah, I was ready to do some talking.
Efficiency obviously plays into that. How were you able to be so efficient today, navigating through all 9 innings?
I mean, the biggest thing after miss a few balls, just tell myself, fix your front side, and stay in the zone, get beat with the bat, not with free passes.
How big was Michael's defensive stop there in that 6th to kind of get out of the jam and allow you to keep going forward?
Yeah. That was a huge play. I had 2 guys on. I think if that ball gets through, it's a completely different ball game, and that might be my last inning. So, defense all night was making great plays. I think everybody in the field was knocking some balls down for me, so that was great.
Is there any more?
Just how did this one compare to other ones that you pitched, if you had?
The only other one, professional, was a 7-inning split doubleheader in the minors. But that's the best. We got the win. We got the sweep. We're in a good spot. So hopefully the team builds off this and we keep this thing rolling.
When you are going in against